not going out to the public. Don't worry. And we're just going to get started.
Okay.
So you're Jay.
Yes.
Jayanne or Jay? What do you like?
Jay is fine.
Okay. And I really liked your reel.
Oh, thanks.
And it was really cool. And let me tell you a little bit about me. I run 13th Floor Studios, and it's an app development company, but we've recently focused all our efforts on the Gates of Avalon. So I started writing. We published a few games on the App Store and some other applications, and done a lot of partnerships with some publishers.
Mm-hmm.
But about a year and a half ago, I started writing this fantasy novel about the Gates of Avalon, and then my friend, he said, "Why don't you make it into an online Dungeons and Dragons campaign?" And I was like, "What? What is that?" He's like, "Just check out Critical Role."
Yeah.
And I did some research. I was like, "Wow, this is a really exciting market with people doing really cool things. There's millions of viewers." And so we embarked on a program to try to turn this into a campaign and get their own kind of brand of Dungeons and Dragons. And we got associated with D&D Beyond. Oh yeah, I have to invite you to D&D Beyond. Hang on a second.
Okay.
You have an account there?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Oh, you sound like you're all put together over there.
I'm just a geek. That's about it.
Aren't we all?
True.
Well, anyone who's going to be involved in this. So anyway,
fine with me.
We have been playing with some other people since September.
Okay.
And that was our pre-production run, meaning that we were kind of ironing out some kinks. We were casting some people. Some people have come. Some people have gone.
Okay.
Some people have passed away in game.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay.
I'm going to invite you to the campaign. Oh man, I just made a mistake here. I'm going to invite you to the campaign. I'm going to send you probably going to send it to you in chat.
Okay.
The link. And I think you just click on it. Hang on. Let me see if this works in the chat. Allow access. Okay. And let me see here. Let me see. Do you see this?
Yes, I heard a ding, so yes. Give me a sec.
Yeah, click on that. See if it gets you in there.
Okay.
We don't have to stop talking.
Okay.
And where are we here?
It's redirecting me at the moment, so
yeah, it will do that.
Okay.
Good. I really like your view there. Like that, it's good. The camera position is good. This is important.
Okay.
Your sound quality has to be good. Your bandwidth has to be good.
Okay.
Your background has to be good. And that's you got to look. What you're trying to sign up for here is we're definitely playing a role playing game. Definitely playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's a phenomenal story. It's deep, persistent world. I'm going to give you a lot of background on it. We'll get into a little bit of role playing. We're going to work it out. Our brand of D&D, I don't know how long you've been playing, is a little bit different.
A while.
It's a little bit different because it's made for an audience.
Okay.
So we're not bogged down flipping through pages and books, and we're not arguing with each other over die rolls. We are doing die rolls, of course.
Yeah, but that's much better when
you just froze
rather
up.
than the logistics and everything.
Right. We don't even need you to have years and years of experience.
Okay.
The point of our brand is it's like a drama.
Okay.
Like when people watch it, we're heavy on role playing. We're heavy on plot. Where we want to make intense situations that are like Games of Thrones, kind of stuff.
Okay.
But the draw is that we're not actors. We're not all in the same room being filmed by 10 cameras.
Yeah, no.
And we have a lot of really cool moments to develop. We have a couple of people that we've held over. They've played their characters for a while.
Okay.
They've helped me mature the brand that we're playing.
Okay.
And we've gotten immersed in this story.
That's
And
awesome.
I know you read the treatment. What did
Yep.
you think?
I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
I thought it was a really good plot and storyline, and there's a lot that like you can do as far as building a character that's in that world.
Right, right. And we'll get to your character. One of the things I
Yeah,
have to tell you is that the character you want to build, I would say there's a lot of flexibility, but it still has to kind of get into the campaign
yeah, that's
because
fine.
the way this works is you don't know the other players, right? They don't know
Hmm.
you. So
Yeah.
you get that element of surprise.
Hmm.
They don't know you personally either. You're not friends with these people,
Yeah,
and
no.
your character doesn't know them either. Which
Yes.
we started with 5 people. I brought
Okay.
them all in a crash course. They all met each other live and in game. It was really cool.
Okay.
And we'll do that. We'll do this with you and whoever else is going to join. I'm not telling you.
Okay.
And we're going to give you some, like, look, you got to remember, Jaye is going to be an actress
Yes.
in a way in this show,
Okay.
and your character is going to know a little bit less than you do. Get it?
Yes. Yeah.
So that you can bring your own special sort of concoction of role playing in while having enough backbone to the story, and you can bleed in and out of what your character knows that you know, and we're going to count on you for that. So
Okay.
there's a little bit of homework in this game.
Okay.
We play on Wednesday nights,
Wednesdays.
which is tomorrow night.
Yes.
I want to bring you in tomorrow night in a crash course. You're going to be like falling out of an airplane. I mean, literally,
Oh,
not literally,
okay.
not literally, but we do a really great job at
Okay.
putting you on the spot. Like, for example, we do not roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
You're on your own to come up with the orchestrations and the machinations of what
Hmm.
you're going to do in combat or what you're going to do in pre and post combat situations.
Okay.
So, like, for example, if something happens, you don't have to wait till your turn.
Okay.
You can role play whether or not you wait or you act aggressively. You may change that at any time. You
Okay.
may coordinate with other characters. You may not coordinate with other characters. And my job is to make it all make sense to all of you and the audience.
Okay.
Because I think rolling initiative is pretty lame in general. I mean, you don't have to agree with everything I'm saying, but I
Yeah,
think
that's
you'll
fine.
really, really like it. Now,
Okay.
certainly, if you have a character that would normally have an initiative bonus to maybe go first a lot, then you
Hmm.
have to role play it that way. And
Yeah, because yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's usually like the barbarian classes and things like that. So they're very aggressive. So you have
Yeah,
to
or
play an aggressive character.
right, right. And it
Yeah.
also depends on what your motivation for your character is.
Yeah.
You may want to wait till everyone acts, even though you usually could go first. So I
Hmm.
think that's way better than being stuck on a die roll.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's definitely more immersive.
yeah, and then of course we play a more fluid version of D&D, less rigid, meaning like let's say you're a spellcaster
Okay.
and you want to cast a spell.
Yes.
There are a lot of unknown conditions that may affect how that spell is cast, and it makes for so much more fun when there's an unknown, right?
Hmm.
Um, if you have a ranged weapon, you may want to shoot an arrow. There might be some situations where the arrow may not go where you want, and we factor all that in.
Hmm.
Maybe you're having a negotiation. Maybe you're running away. Maybe you're chasing somebody. We've really had such a great time, and we've really refined this brand. And you'll come in and you'll add your own flavor. This
Okay.
is like we're a cast, okay? And
Hmm.
we're hoping that everybody adds their own flavor. You have your personal flavor, and you also have your character's flavor, okay?
Hmm.
So let me tell you a little bit about the campaign. Are you
Sure.
ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to think?
Yes.
Do you have a pen and paper?
Yes, I do. Let me
You
just
must.
grab them.
I'm going to tell you that you're on your own
Uh huh.
to remember or not remember anything you want. You can write it down and choose to forget. Maybe your character is someone who's very detail oriented. Maybe you're somebody who's a little bit looser in the mind.
Okay.
It's up to you to role play.
Sure.
Now I will send you some information in writing that you can put into your electronic database of information.
Got
But
it.
let me tell you a little story about where we are.
Yes, please.
The kingdom of Avalon
Okay.
has been around for about 100 years. And it was born out of the victory of a great battle. And this battle was between good and evil.
Okay.
About 1,000 years ago, on this continent, which is named Kin, Kyn, on one of these realms in the prime material world, prime material plane. And this continent, I'm actually going to show you a map. We have a lot of artwork you're going to really love.
Awesome.
We have an art director. Give me a second here. This will really help the narrative.
So, Kin is the continent?
Yes, and
Okay.
Avalon is the kingdom.
Got it. Yep.
No, I'm going to show you some artwork, and you got to promise not to take any screenshots. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
You're good. I'm too busy writing.
Yeah. I'm going to call up a map, and I'm just going to, it'll help frame the conversation.
Okay.
It's loading. Give me a second.
It's fine.
We have a really, really, really great artist. One of the guys that works for me, his name's Nicholas.
That's awesome.
He is from Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I want to share this with you really real quick. Let's see. We're going to share. Let me know when you can see this.
Yep. I can see the PowerPoint.
So this is our logo.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And this is the map. I'm going to present this map. You see it?
Yeah.
So this is the continent of Kin. Can you see this here? There's this weird sort of bar down here, which makes it hard to see. Maybe this is better.
Oh.
I know you're seeing some stuff.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why this little bar stays here. But let's take a little journey through history.
Sure.
About 5,000 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
as far as anyone can remember in history, here in the Black Smoke Wood, which used to be called the Ancient Wood, lived the Wood Elves. They were the original inhabitants. And the Wood Elves lived as Wood Elves do.
Mm-hmm.
And thousands of years later, across the Azure Sea, came some High Elves, exploring and looking for new merchant opportunities. There were no humans living on Kin.
Okay.
And there were some other races like dwarves, orcs, and intelligent other beings, but no humans.
Okay.
So they met the Wood Elves, and the High Elves and the Wood Elves created a pact. It was called the Ancient Society, because the Wood Elves knew that once the High Elves arrived, the humans couldn't be far behind. And the Wood Elves agreed to let the High Elves trade with them, and they brought some riches back to some kingdoms across the sea. And before long, about 2,000 years ago, humans came. They made their way across the sea as their technology with sailing improved, and they found it. I don't know if you see what this is. The pointer.
Yes.
I'll try to zoom in. Maybe these maps are a little better. Yeah, this is Avalon. This city was not here, but on this space of where this city is, this is like screwing up, was a small port, which was a tiny foothold.
Okay.
And that's where the humans came. Nobody really knows the name of that place. You don't know.
Okay.
But fast forward about another 1,000 years. By that time, the ancient society of the High Elves and the Wood Elves were allies with the humans in trade and land management, meaning that the High Elves convinced the humans not to chop down the forest and go to war with the Wood Elves. There were some skirmishes, but at that time, this land down here, Dunsmore, that was the dominant human kingdom.
Okay.
Avalon did not exist. And around the area, in places like this, Vaz Liru, Dalal, some of these other places, were 10 human houses. They were called the 10. And they had a loose association, but no kingdom was formed here. And they all lived pretty happily.
Okay.
And then about 1,000 years ago, over here, you see what I'm saying here?
Yes. Earth.
The Earth cut.
Yeah, Earth cut.
There was a huge earthquake and a massive volcanic event. And deep in the forest here, a fissure opened up in the earth.
Okay.
And over here, see all these mountains? This is where the dwarves lived.
Okay.
And after several years, these mountains were consumed and flattened into small hills and crumbled rocky outcroppings, and the dwarven homelands were destroyed. The dwarves were scattered, and most of them fled into the Eastern Territory. So there's very, very little dwarven presence.
Okay.
And this fissure or chasm or canyon called the Earth Cut, out of it came a black smoke that filled the air and drifted for miles and miles in every direction. And this black smoke, this filthy ichor, wasn't just from a fire. It was from hell itself.
Okay.
For some reason, in the middle of that forest, a portal to hell opened up. And out of it came, well, you can imagine. This smoke infected the land. It poisoned the flora. It turned and possessed the fauna. Bears, deer, little tiny squirrels went insane. And they began to attack the wood elves and everything around them. And out of the earth cut came other creatures, extraplanar creatures, horrible creatures. And over the next several hundred years, they slowly overtook the forest, turning it black, giving it the name the Black Smoke Wood. And as this went on, they started to consume more and more land. And the river, which you can see here, which is hard to see, is called the Thule River. And the river turned also black and flowed all the way to the sea. And over the next 700 or 800 years, the wood elves fought a battle against these denizens from hell, slowly but surely, losing and losing and losing. And here in this area here in Black Smoke, you see this Black Smoke?
Yep.
This used to have another name. It used to be called Grendel. Grendel was the wood elf capital. It was the only settlement they had outside of the forest. And this is where they and the ancient society of high elves built a large trading post. And they had their own way of doing things. Eventually, the black smoke overtook the city, and the wood elves withdrew and abandoned it. They left it empty and went into the woods and assumed a very feral existence, trying to keep small pockets of the wood alive, fighting off horrible creatures that came and went and came and went.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire continent lived under this black shadow for centuries. Until one particular year, a single man rose to the favor of the god Pholtus. Pholtus, Pholtus. You can look that. Yeah, you can look at all this stuff up online.
Okay.
So Foltus is a god of light and order, and he lives and projects the one true way. And a particular man named Urban Magnus, head of the House Magnus, he ascended to be a guardian of light for Foltus. He and his house believed very strongly in the one true way. Many of the other houses were either godless or followed other gods. But as the black smoke encroached and took over generation of generation, he stood out and he rose to challenge the black smoke. And after a period of time, he gathered unto himself a treaty with the other 9 houses to create the Treaty of the 10. And they decided that they would go out to the earth cut and bring their magicians and try to do something about it. This is about 100 years ago, maybe a little more. And what ensued was a back and forth battle between Magnus and his forces and the denizens of hell. And it went back and forth and back and forth. And Foltus found more and more favor with Magnus and promoted him to become a champion of light. Mm-hmm. And when he became champion of light, he brought his favored forces onto a battle. Now, the denizens of hell were not going to give up so easily. They had some purpose, although nobody today knows really what it is. And they brought forward their champion of hell, and his name was Malbone. Malbone. And Malbone organized these awful creatures into a swarming army. And first they went south into the sealed land that's here. And they wiped out, literally wiped out the halflings. And the other, well, you know, they're not all dead. And then he rode into Dunsmore, the powerful kingdom of Dunsmore, and he sacked the whole kingdom.
Wow.
Now, Magnus and his loose association of the 10 were all the way over here, hundreds of miles away. They couldn't support Dunsmore, and Dunsmore fell. The horrible stories that came out of what happened at Dunsmore are still told today in inns and keeps throughout the land. And then, after a period of time, Malbone marched his forces here to this edge of the river. And this is where Magnus and was going to make his final stand. They fought on the river, and at a crucial moment, Malbone and Magnus squared off in single combat. Malbone was clearly the superior warrior. His doom blade had cut hundreds down already that same day, and he brought it to bear against the holy weapon of Urban Magnus. And they fought back and forth as the other legions engaged as well. And Magnus retreated across the only bridge on the river. Malbone pursued. And on the far side of the river, on the cornerstone of the bridge, Malbone sought to finish him and wipe out Magnus's forces. But then something happened. A star in the sky, which no one had ever seen so bright before, lit up like the sun and blinded all the evil forces of hell. And during that moment, Magnus took an opportune swing, and his hammer found Malbone's head and destroyed it. And Malbone was vanquished, and he instantly disappeared, banished back to hell. Within a few minutes, his forces, leaderless, broke ranks, and the 10 were victorious. They pushed the evil forces into this field over here, which you really can't see. But there are other maps we could show you.
Okay.
They surrounded them and slaughtered them, and turning the field black with blood. To this day, nothing grows there and nothing lives there. And it has the name the Killing Fields. With the victory and with the fall of Dunsmore, Magnus brought in his 9 houses and they decided to create a new kingdom. Magnus was elevated to king of Avalon. Now, Magnus had a friend. He was the archmage Zorin. Zorin was the most powerful mage in all of Kin. And he and some other mages went out to the Earth Cut. So the legend says they cast a spell that closed the cut and saved the kingdom. And after that, Avalon found a period of great prosperity. They built a huge city. And Zorin, with his magic powers, he founded the Mage Academy and brought all the best mages and spellcasters in Kin to study there. And what they created was a series of incredible magical inventions, which included a lot of defenses to be built around Avalon to protect it from the future.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Magnus and Zorin were inseparable, mainly because Magnus's sister became Zorin's wife. Mm. And she was the love of his life. Magnus lived a long life as king. His son, Jund, rose to be king as well. As the decades passed and Avalon grew, they found great fortune under the help of the Mage Academy and the strength of the One True Way. Now, Magnus founded the Silver Order. The Silver Order became the keepers of the One True Way, like the religion.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 2 factions. One were the Silver Priests, who administered the prayers and ran the administrative, the churches, and the Silver Knights, who were like the marshals. They rode out among the kingdom to spread the word. They're all paladins, and they're very easily recognizable by their shiny silver armor and their armored steeds.
Okay.
And they are the law wherever they go.
Gotcha.
They also commissioned the building of the King's Highway, which would connect the eastern territories here with Black Smoke and Avalon. They cut it out of the edge of the forest. And all this time, the Wood Elves were unheard of. Now, that was 100 years ago. Your character, who we'll get to in a minute, has lived her life. And over the last several years, the Black Smoke has returned.
Fun.
The Black Smoke issues forth from the Earth Cut. And there are rumors of attacks from possessed beasts from the woods and other creatures that nobody can explain. From the Eastern Territories, refugees pour down the King's Highway, as I wrote in the one-page treatment that you read.
Mm-hmm.
And the current king, third in line, Taryn, well, he's become quite paranoid.
Oh.
And he has dissociated himself from the great, magnanimous behavior of his father and his grandfather. And Zorin, well, some reason Zorin's still around. Zorin has led the Mage Academy for 70 or 80 years.
Mm.
And I'm going to give you more information than your character would know so you can sort of bake it into... I'm going to exit this. Hold on a second here. So we can see each other again. There's a lot more artwork to see. Now that went away. So, the city of Black Smoke. As you can see by the map, it's proximity to the Earth Cut makes it like an outpost.
Mm-hmm.
In recent years, it has been overrun again with the black smoke, but there really aren't too many people around who remember it. Just the
Okay.
elves. And the city has been sort of overrun with corruption. It had always been a pretty rough town compared to Avalon. Avalon sort of loosely governs it from
Mm-hmm.
afar. They have the King's Highway Patrol,
Mm-hmm.
who makes sure that trade can move up and down the highway. And the river is a very, very important artery of trade and commerce. And Black Smoke is the largest port this far east. So there's two ways to get to Avalon. You can catch a riverboat or you can ride the King's Highway.
Okay.
But of late, neither way seems very safe. So the people of Black Smoke don't travel much anymore.
Okay.
They sort of hunker down where they are and hope to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the beginning of the campaign tomorrow will focus in Black Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, why don't you, with this backstory, why don't you tell me a little bit about the character you're seeking to play?
I usually I usually don't really have a specific type I play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like to switch it up a lot, but lately I've been wanting to I've been playing tanks a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have too many tanks already,
I'm
or?
not gonna tell you anything.
Uh,
I will. I'm gonna. You remember, you're like coming in solo.
yeah.
We got to give you motivation, and we got to
Uh-huh.
give you backstory. Okay.
Okay. Well,
So, go ahead.
I already have a character roughly created. Obviously, I
Mm-hmm.
have to fit the backstory and everything into into your world, but she is a Goliath. Does that work with
Oh
your
my.
world?
Well, let me just throw a few things out at you and see what you like. Okay.
Sure.
What we feel would be really cool is an elf. Have you ever played an elf?
Yeah.
Do you like elves? Do you like elves?
Yes, I do.
Would you allow me to interest you in a particular character,
Sure,
which you
go
could
for it.
certainly make your own? You could
Okay.
focus on a class. You could focus on backstory. You could focus on look and feel. One of the
Okay.
things that's really important to this campaign is the elves. Okay, as I told you about the backstory, the high elves still remain in the
Yeah.
kingdom.
Give me
They've
one
been there.
sec. My
Yep,
pen died on me.
that's okay.
Ugh. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. So high elves still remain.
Yes, and so do the wood elves.
Okay.
The wood elves and the high elves broke their ancient society apart during the battles a century ago.
Okay, so they
The
broke
reason
up.
they broke up. Well, the wood elves retreated into the forest. The high
Hmm.
elves really didn't want to go there. The wood elves got in battles with any humans that came into the forest. That put the high elves in a bad position because the high elves lived and traded among the humans.
Okay.
And they kind of like somehow sided with the humans. Hang on one second. Hold on, I'm getting a text. Um, so what would be really good for the campaign is because we had a character that was an elf, and that character was destroyed.
Oh.
So I'm going to give you like a real boost on what we are looking for.
Sure. Yeah.
So there was a girl who played with us back in October.
Okay.
A really great, nice young lady named
Hmm.
Alexandra. And The backstory is that she was in school in Ohio, and her family was from Houston. And
Oh,
when Harvey came, she just couldn't play anymore because
yeah.
their family home was destroyed, and she had to go back. And it was a terrible, terrible tragedy for all of us. And so she had to
I
quit.
was in Florida at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we still keep in touch with her a little bit, but she just can't play.
Yeah.
And she played in a high elf,
Okay.
and she sacrificed her character at a key moment because she went out with a bang.
Aw.
It was really unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
The role playing was incredible.
Awesome.
And we have it all on tape, so we haven't released any episodes yet, but we'll put that in.
Okay.
And the way the elves are right now is they have this thing called the Elven Enclave. The high elves, they live in these Elven Enclaves, or they live directly among the humans.
Mm-hmm.
In the Elven Enclave, they have their fingers into everything. They're very influential. They're very powerful. They're very wealthy. They're very tough. And this particular elf, she sacrificed herself at a key moment in a key battle. And we were thinking that we really neat if another one came along to participate in the same adventure. Someone different, someone like you.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it would fit really, really well.
Yeah. I'm fine with playing an elf. Does it have to be a high elf, or would a forest elf work in this? A wood elf?
A wood elf could work. A high elf could work.
Mm.
Yeah. Even a dark elf could work.
Okay.
So we'll leave that where it is. And the Elven Enclave, like if you think about, let's say you're from Black Smoke. Okay. Really cool city.
Mm-hmm.
Black Smoke is run by 4 factions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The top faction has control over the government. Okay. That means the governor, the ministers, they run like a mafia. Okay. The second faction, well, they're the muscle. Okay.
Got you.
They're the muscle. So they keep the top faction in power. And the top faction takes care of them and pays them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the third and the fourth faction, well, all they want to do is convince the second faction to support them to overthrow the first faction.
So they're the little guys.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily so little.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, they're just not as powerful. Now, most of the time, the top faction changes houses.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who are in power now haven't always been there.
Okay.
And these factions, well, if you live in Black Smoke, you've heard something or other about them.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody kind of lives with it. But in the recent years, there's been another entity in the city creating all kinds of weird trouble. When the smoke has returned and the sun has been blotted out, the mood in the city has become more and more gloomy.
Okay.
And these factions are trying to hold together their power, but they're finding a lot of disruption.
Okay.
They're sometimes becoming more aggressive, sometimes becoming more defensive. And the Elven Enclave is watching this happen. Now, the Elven Enclave doesn't bother to get involved with these factions so much. They're more like information brokers, and they deal a lot more with the Elven Enclaves in other cities. And there are other little towns and hamlets that dot the King's Highway all the way back to Avalon.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. So far, I really like the idea of having my character be a wood elf, come from Black Smoke, and be kind of like in the second tier, as in kind of like an assassin almost.
Interesting. Interesting. An assassin. Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
So the wood elf, the wood elves and the high elves. Like I got to figure out how we can put a wood elf in the mix. Like the
Well,
elven. No, go ahead.
um, like I don't know like the complete history with them yet, but I was figuring like the wood elf could kind of be like my character, she could kind of be an outcast with her own people because an assassin is usually whoever pays the most you work for. So she doesn't care if the high elves hire her, if the humans hire her, she's just gonna work for anyone. And the her kin um feel that as like dishonorable. So I feel like she would be a big outcast.
So how did she become an assassin in the first place?
Um, I was thinking that like it's I'm thinking on the fly, so give me a
No,
sec.
yeah, yeah, do it. And by the way, you're doing great. Don't worry.
Okay. I was thinking it would have something to do with her situation. So she was either like she was like I wanna say her parents were on a trip to Black Smoke, kind of like maybe like they were like sending a message or something, and of course they had her with them. They got murdered um, trying to deliver the message,
Okay.
um, and she was orphaned, and like no one ever came to get her because they probably thought she was dead. And by the time they figured out she wasn't, she'd witnessed her parents' murder and she'd grown up semi on the streets. So assassin and everything else is kind of the go to.
Interesting. It's so funny. The other girl had the same backstory,
Really?
but she wasn't an assassin.
Oh, okay.
She said her parents were wealthy merchants from Dunsmore, and 100 years ago they were slaughtered by Malbone, and she was tucked away in some cart and got away. And
Oh.
she's lived with that her whole life. And she was a bard.
Oh,
Now,
buds.
the magic power on kin is very hard to come by. Okay, you have to have like an innate magical cord.
Okay.
Okay, you can't be taught magic.
Okay.
That's why the Mage Academy is so powerful. They like go out and find all the adepts, and they bring them to the academy.
Okay.
So you won't find too many traveling mages. They're usually all associated with the academy,
Yeah.
and the academy runs like a big conglomerate corporation. Okay.
Hmm.
So anyway, let's keep going with your story.
Sure.
Let's see here. Let's work on this. The wood elf. So you're a wood elf. Parents were murdered. You were left to fend for yourself. You were how you you know. Let's see if we can flesh that out a little bit.
Well, so I would think for like let's say it happened when she was 11, okay? So she's living on the street at age 11, probably panhandling for money. Um and elf, like you said, is really rare. I'm sure wood elves are even more rare to see. So in the first faction
Mm-hmm.
probably saw her, knew that wood elves have certain like born abilities with like skills, like dexterity and things, and picked her up and probably trained her or gave her to someone in the second tier faction to train her and work exclusively for the family.
Hmm. Nothing wrong with that. I want to give you a little bit of extra special sauce.
Okay.
Trying to put this together. In the wood elf history of the last 100 years,
Yeah.
and remember, elves live a long time. So
Yes.
elves don't mature until they're like 45, 50 years old. So you got to put this in the timeline.
Got it.
So maybe more like 70 or 80 years.
Yeah.
Um, let's say that your tribe, it was a feral tribe, like all the wood elves of the last couple of
Mhm.
100 years. They were overrun by the forces of hell.
Mhm.
And the prince of your tribe and the warriors, including your father, fought valiantly over many weeks to protect your small enclave in the forest, deep in the forest. And you knew nothing of humans or other elves or
Mhm.
anything. You were a forest elf, deep in the woods. You didn't even know where the nearest road was growing up. And then everything changed. All the animals that you had come to know well and the lush greenery of the trees turned black and became your enemy. And it terrified you.
Mhm.
Everything that you knew from your childhood turned dark and smoky. And eventually, the forces of hell encroached upon the very land you called your home. And perhaps there was a great series of battles. And slowly but surely, the clan's defensive forces failed. And your mother gathered you, her only child, and panicked, ran off with some of the other children and mothers who had this rumor of somewhere to go to be safe. This
Okay.
story of a city where there were other elves. And as the forest was overrun, these women, they took a fighting retreat to their former capital, Grendel. But Grendel was no more. It was now totally changed. Whereas there were great, beautiful elven constructs, palaces, and homes,
Mhm.
now they had been interspersed with the ugly shanties and brick buildings of human construction, which is what Black Smoke looks like today. It's like
Yeah.
two cities in one.
Okay.
And they came into the city, but they were immediately set upon by the factions. They didn't want anything to do with Wood Elves.
Okay.
And you were captured. And you were sent into like some kind of orphanage where you were
Mhm.
beaten and tortured.
Oh
And
fuck.
you never saw your mother again. And that's where you spent 10 years. We can like fill in the blanks. I don't even know if we'll really use this, but I kind of like it.
I like it so far.
And over the years, you matured, grew a little bigger, grew a little stronger, a little tougher, well, a lot tougher. And eventually, on a crucial moment when you were being transferred from one dungeon to another, you escaped. And you hit the streets
Mhm.
and you disappeared. Eventually, you found your way to the Elven Enclave, where the High Elves held their position.
Mhm.
And they saw you. And as much as they had broken their alliance with the Wood Elves many years ago, they decided that they would take you in.
Okay.
But you were feral, and you were angry, and you were vicious. And they had to work very hard over several years to teach you to just be in the presence of others. You had been shell shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And they taught you the ways of the elves, something you never knew. So perhaps you're a wood elf living in the society of high elves.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, perhaps they taught you to do something you were very good at, which was kill. You had an inner burning fire and anger, and they didn't want to keep it all for themselves. So perhaps you are an assassin or something like it. And they trained you in the ways of the sword and the blade,
Mm-hmm.
in the ways of how to bend shadow and be silent. And they gave you missions to go out. And what the missions are is that among the four factions jockeying for power, trying to usurp each other, the elves still want their presence to be known. They don't want to be overrun. So they put a little fear into the hearts of the humans. They trade with them, they manipulate them,
Mm-hmm.
they take from them, they give to them. But you might be the deadly tip of the dagger.
Okay. I'm the
Perhaps
weapon.
maybe you're part of a small group and you have a master that has taught you and continues to teach you to excel at your craft.
Okay.
And your master's name is Kestine. Kestine is a sword master, the greatest sword master in the Elven Enclave. And he has been with you since he found you. And you are one of his blades. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like that. And you go wherever he says, and you do whatever he says. And you feel some connection to him, like maybe he's like your father that you lost so many years ago. I mean,
Okay.
he's not like him. I mean, he's not a replacement.
Well, maybe he is. Um, I mean, she was taken pretty young for elf, and then she was just subjugated to being beaten and probably like starved most of the time. She broke out. She ran to the elves, who then tried to teach her that
Mm-hmm.
kindness was a thing. And what if when they introduced her to Castine, he was a little more harder? I mean, he's a sword master, so he's a little more tougher, a little more stricter. He doesn't beat her like the others, but he's definitely not overly mushy. So she finds comfort in that. She feels like he's being truthful.
Yeah, and you get to experience the city, and you start to feel. You go on your missions, you come back, but you start to feel the station of the elves is superior. All elves think they're superior, especially high elves,
Okay.
and they operate at a much more advanced level than the
Mm-hmm.
petty human. The petty humans would kill each other for a nickel or a
Mm-hmm.
look. The elves are much more manipulative. And while they remain a small number, they carry quite a name and reputation. So you see how Castine moves about the city freely
Mm-hmm.
and with great confidence. And although when you do your missions, you're extremely secretive and nobody knows it's you do like to walk the streets by his side. And even though you never see the sun much, you feel a warmth with him. He frequents certain places. You don't know everywhere he goes. He doesn't hang out with you all the time. You spend a lot of time in the Enclave. And now it's been about 15 years. No, I'm sorry. It's been about 100 years since since that battle in the woods. And one thing you haven't been able to bring yourself to do is return to the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you another picture here. Hold on. Let me just get there. La, 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 la. So the way this is going to work, Jay, is you're going to spend some time on your own. Okay, we're going to roll up your character right now.
Okay.
Do you have some six-sided dice?
Um, I have sorry. I have I don't have dice. I have a online app though.
Oh, you don't have dice? You need to buy some
No,
dice.
yeah, I'm getting them this weekend. So
Okay. I have an online thing too. I have a dice app,
okay,
but
yeah.
um,
For the
you
look,
know,
it needs to be in real life.
yeah, I think it's cool. The dice
Hmm.
rolling is really kind of neat, and people
Yeah.
really like to watch that. Okay, I'm gonna share this with you. Hold on a second here. Where are we? You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. This stuff blows people away.
Oh yes.
This is black smoke.
Oh, I love it.
Black smoke sits on the edge of the river, and there's this canal called the River Run that runs through it.
Okay.
This over here, do you see the pointer?
Yep.
Is the Elven Enclave.
Okay.
This is where they live.
Gotcha.
I have a different map here. I'm gonna like here's a picture of the King's Highway
Okay.
going through black smoke. You can see how heavy with smoke it is.
I love this.
Here's another picture. This is the River Run.
Okay.
You can see there are like elven type buildings here, nestled among the other structures. Oh wait, we don't want to show that. I love this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you another picture here. I got to find the map. There's another map. I don't know where I put it. You can see. I don't be cheating and looking at this stuff. No, you're not cheating. What is these maps? They're way down here. Yeah, here it is. Loading. This is a more top-down view of black smoke.
Okay.
So this is the city. Okay, here's the river. You can see
Mm-hmm.
it. And this is the Elven Enclave out here. This is where
Yep.
you live.
Got you.
Okay. And the Merchants Guild is right close by, where you spend most of where the elves and the merchants are very close. There's the bazaar, and over here you have the Church of the One True Way and the Silver Citadel.
Okay.
Okay, and you can read this stuff; it's not a secret. It's a pretty big town, 16,000,
Yeah.
and the elves are only 14% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the city center. Here's the smob, is like the slums.
Okay.
Over here is like the city guard and the jail. We got a lot of other things that we've built out here. So this is kind of your place where you hang out. Then there's this barren wood over here where they just don't seem to build anything.
Okay.
And you have this is like the closest woods, and you don't set foot in there.
Got you.
Okay. So, let me see here. This is weird. What do you think of the art?
I love it. Oh my God.
Yeah, and we get new art like every week.
That's awesome.
And what we'll do is when we do episodes,
Mm-hmm.
we'll put that artwork in. We'll stitch it in for the viewers to
Yeah.
see, and we'll have all our voices in the background, and we'll cut to and from. And we make your character a portrait.
Uh-huh.
So it's really important that you make a robust character.
Okay.
So, what do you think of this story? I really want it to be as much yours as the suggestions I'm giving you.
Yeah, I really like her backstory so far because it's like she had this like sheltered childhood in the forest. Not sheltered for any bad reason. It was just her parents were like like she was very young and her parents were just teaching her the ways of the land. And then the smoke hit and like the battle started like invading her land. They ran her mom ran to the only place she knew to, and then she's abused. I feel like I could flesh that part out a little because
Mm-hmm.
I mean the humans abducted an elven girl and they abuse her definitely, but I feel like there should be something else. Like they should try to do something, or maybe they you know what could happen?
Yeah. Tell me.
They could haggle with the high elves the uh uh in
The Enclave. The
the
Enclave.
enclave. Yeah. And when she escaped and ran to them, maybe she didn't exactly escape.
Yeah, maybe she had help.
Well, yeah, maybe she thinks she escaped, but someone might have been pulling the strings.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, a
But
little
she might
confusion.
not.
Very good.
She won't know that.
That's right. Maybe the elves are using her too.
Yeah, most definitely.
There's a theme in look. I'll be honest with you, Jay. The theme of this campaign and why it's interesting to the viewer is that it mimics a lot of things in real life. Okay, that's what all good stories do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the Mage Academy, it's like the oligarchy,
Yeah.
right? Okay, if you live in Black Smoke, you know that the Mage Academy is responsible for many products that people use. Like for example, since there's very few magic users, if you need like some healing or you
Mm-hmm.
need something else, the Mage Academy makes potions, little tiny vials, and people buy them like all the time.
But they could be selling snake oil for all you know.
Well, no, they have enough magic power to keep people coming back. But it's very
Oh.
limited. If you have a little more money, you could buy a trinket. And a trinket might be an amulet that you wear to protect you from
Mm-hmm.
something. Or maybe it casts light, or maybe that's other thing. The more and more money you have, the more and more stuff you can buy from them.
Okay.
And they make weapons also. You can buy those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the Mage Academy is also in charge of many things in Avalon, but since you've never been there, you don't know. In Black Smoke, the Mage Academy has a campus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And they have mages where they train and they represent the Mage Academy there in Black Smoke and they import their products and they sell them in the streets and the bazaars. And people pretty much like just about everything the Mage Academy sells. But their big opposition is the one true way. Because the Silver Order doesn't like the Mage Academy. Because
Mm.
it teaches people not to need them. See, the Silver Order would rather have you come to church to get healing.
Okay.
They'd rather have you believe in the one true way and live a righteous life. So you won't need any of those silly trinkets being sold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that'll play out. And then, of course, in Black Smoke, you know, the factions like to live above and below that little game going on between the two.
Mm-hmm.
The Mages Academy and the One True Way. So the elves, of course, don't participate in any of that. They have
So
their
the
own.
yeah, they're just on the sidelines watching the whole mind games going on.
Well, if you ask the elves, they don't sit on the sidelines. They float above it all, holding the strings.
Got you.
They want to make sure that nobody really looks too carefully at them.
Mm-hmm.
So they might make the Mage Academy look like they did something, which gets the attention of the Silver Order, and then they
Mm-hmm.
have some sort of clash. But nothing too open and nothing too violent. Nobody wants to get involved in that kind of stuff. And they always keep prodding and poking. Like maybe one of your recent missions was to assassinate a captain in one of the factions to weaken their position, giving maybe some of the lower
Okay.
factions an opening to try to take over. And you've gone on a few of these missions, and you can't really piece together why you're doing all these things. Castine keeps you pretty much in the dark, besides telling you what the target is, where and when. And
Okay.
maybe in the deepest parts of the back of your mind, you're not sure why you're doing any of this. Maybe you're
Okay.
bored. Maybe you're bored. Maybe you're angry. Maybe it's a combination. Maybe you're doing it just to please him. Maybe you're doing it to make your own reputation. Maybe as you stick that blade into these evil men and women, you're getting revenge in some weird way. But there is one thing that I want to tell you about. When you sleep, sometimes you see visions. Visions of your homeland. They seem so real. Like you could actually reach out and touch your father's face. Dreams about your mother. Dreams about growing up with them, living in the forest. And these dreams seem so vivid. And you remember them when you wake and in between. They don't come so often. But they always end the same way. They end with this black smoke filling the vision. And then this feeling of endless falling into a dark, tumultuous cyclone of black smoke. And then you wake up. Now, you've never told anybody about these dreams.
Okay.
But just recently, you overheard someone else talking about a very similar dream. And it shocked you, scared you. And since then, you've had a hard time sleeping.
Okay.
So, you might have to figure out what you want to do with that. Now you look and feel, for the last few weeks, very, very tired.
Yeah.
Very exasperated. A little edgy.
You
can't get away from these dreams. They keep coming back. You almost don't even want to close your eyes. You're becoming a little desperate. You don't know what to do. You'll have to figure it out. Now, we have a little bit of time left. Let's go into D&D Beyond. I'm going to show you how this works.
Okay.
Did you join? Did you join my campaign?
Yes, I did.
So, I think that what you do is you create a character.
Yes.
If you join my campaign, by the way, I have a full account. You can look at every single book. You can get all the resources.
Oh wow!
And you can spend all the time you want looking at everything in there. Okay, because
awesome.
I have like a whatever they call it, a Dungeon Master's account.
Oh wow! Okay.
And because you know me, you're so lucky. Now, do you see any of the other characters listed there?
Let me hold on.
Go to the camp. I don't think you can see it. Go to the campaign.
I don't think I can. Campaign.
Do you see my campaign?
Yes, I do. View. Okay. Yeah, I see everyone's name. Can I see the profile is the question. Yes, I can. Okay, no. So,
you can only see the.
Yeah, I see their names, but I can't see like anything else.
Can you see their characters and their levels?
Yeah. So, Ava is level 7.
Yeah, so she died.
Okay, she's dead. Got it.
All right, I'm not going to go into all that, so just ignore that for now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, is there a place for you to create a new character?
Yeah.
All right, so what I want you to do, let me think about I forget how we did this. You create the character and you add it to my campaign. I think it should show up there automatically. And then
Yeah.
So go ahead and do it.
Yeah, so I already have my I already have my character sheet up that I'm doing anyway.
Oh yeah, but I want you to I want you to make a new one, I think.
No, this is new.
All right, let me see if I can see it because I'm gonna view it. Yeah, there. Wait, where are you? Hero with no name. I love that. I think that is it you edit it and I view it, or I view it and you edit it.
Well, I can edit it. I don't know.
No, I know. I can edit it also. I was kind of thinking that you will edit it and I will view it. So you click edit and I click view.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm editing now.
So we're gonna go to the character builder. Is that what it shows?
Yeah. So the first The
Hang on.
first one is like the character name.
Yeah. So give
Yeah.
yourself. You can give yourself a name. I'm at the one where it says class.
Okay. Okay. I'll
Wait.
skip ahead to class.
No. Don't.
Oh,
Go to home.
yeah.
You got Aldra.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know Critical Role had their own content here. That's awesome. We're not going to use encumbrance, so say no encumbrance.
Got you.
I think I can actually edit this too. Hit point type is fixed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
we're not rolling that. Okay, let's go to the next screen.
Okay.
Aldra.
Let's go to race, and then I already know it's gonna be a wood elf.
Elf wood.
Yeah.
It's just so cute, right?
Yeah.
It's allowing me to do it also, but you should do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing it too. All right. So then I get dark vision, keen senses, fey, ancestry. Awesome.
Now, I don't think they have assassin
N-
as a race.
no, but you can build it. Like you can like kind of manufacture it a little.
Where would you start?
So I would pick something close to it. So something that has a lot of decks. So probably a ranger or a rogue. I haven't been rogue in a while.
Do you want to be a rogue? Is that the base?
Simple.
Well, I think either fighter or rogue.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with rogue. Is
You sure?
that
All right.
bad?
No,
I'll be fighter if you want.
I think fighter might be better.
Okay.
It depends on the perks, you know.
Yeah. Well, I was because rogue has sneak attack.
Yeah, I think you
Um.
want to be. I think you want to be a rogue. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thieves can't, cunning action. It's a lot more geared towards assassin than anything else.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Let's do rogue. So do rogue.
Yep. And then I have to choose
Generation method, right?
what is it?
It goes right to ability scores, doesn't it?
No,
Oh,
now
wait a minute.
because I chose Vogue, I have to choose proficiencies.
Okay, hang on.
Hanging on. Ugh.
Wait a minute, I think I just added your class for you. You already did it though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I have to go to bed. Is this fun yet? Is this fun yet? Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, I love this part.
Oh, you know what? It stopped. It just kind of crashed. Happens sometimes.
Mhm.
Not exactly a perfect environment. Oh man, it might have kicked me all the way back out. Let's see what it says here. Oh, I'm in a bad place. Let me see what happens here. Oh, this is weird, this screen. Oh, yeah, here we are. Okay, so I'm at the race. Okay, now I'm going to... Okay, here you are. You're a level 1 rogue.
Yep. Hello.
Okay. You could choose all your proficiencies on your own later. I don't have time. We don't have time for that.
Okay.
You're going to do that between now and tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a level. So get out your dice.
Okay.
Okay, you're not going to start. You're not going to start at first level. It's just not going to work. You have your dice.
Say that again. You broke up a little.
You're not going to start at first level.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Look, you're getting real close to the camera. You're getting excited.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I like that. It's fine. You have beautiful eyes.
Okay.
You do. I guess I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to like.
You're fine. Please, you didn't scare me. Okay, so I have the dice out.
Okay. Get out. What do you have there on this thing? Is it like you get a number?
Look, I got a D4, D6, D8, D10.
Oh, you got them all. I think I know what app you're using. I have the same app. I think. Is it called Awesome Dice?
No. This is like I have an app on my phone, but I actually also have a website I'm using on my computer at the moment.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
It's called wizards.com. It's
Oh,
like,
okay, okay.
yeah,
I know that one. All right, so get out a 20-sider and roll it.
sure. Huh,
What'd you roll?
I got a 2.
All right, so you're going to be level 6.
Okay, I'm okay with
I
this.
think I can make you level 6. I don't
Yeah,
even
you
know if I
can.
can.
I mean, I can do it too, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I'm kind of sometimes a little confused. I forget how this works. So you're level 6.
Okay.
Let me see something here. Why doesn't it come up? Doesn't it give you the hit points? It should give you the hit points. 6 die 8. Okay. Apply that. The base of 33 hit points. Okay. Again, you could fill in all this other stuff, the roguish archetype and the ability
Yeah,
score
that's
improvement.
fine.
Okay, now let's go to the next thing.
Okay.
It's going to be your abilities. Okay. Choose manual abilities.
All
Okay,
right.
here's how we roll. Okay, I'm going to tell you how this works. You have a chance. What's this? You have a chance to have get out your die. Get out the 6-siders. Okay.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is you're going to choose which abilities you roll and how many dice you're going to roll. Okay. And then
Okay.
we're going to choose the numbers, and that's going to be your score. Now, you have the opportunity. If you choose your strongest ability, you'll get 7 die 6, and you will choose the best 3 dice. The next one, you'll get 6 die 6, and you'll choose the best 3 dice. And you'll get 5 die 6, and you'll choose the best 3 dice.
Okay.
And then you'll get 4 die 6, and then you'll get 4 die 6, and then you'll get 3 die 6. And that will be your 6th one. So you could choose which one you want, which ability you want your 7 dice for.
Yeah.
So
I
which one are
mean,
you?
for me, definitely dexterity.
All right, so do me a favor.
Yep.
And roll. Can you share this? Can you share your screen? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, let me attempt that.
So go to Google. Go to the Google Hangouts video.
Yep,
And
I'm there.
in the upper left there should be a green arrow that says screen share. Do you
Got
see it?
it. Yep. And then share.
Just share that one application. That's a fine. You can share the whole thing.
Okay. Can you see?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
I can
So
see it.
I'll go to my D6 and then I'm gonna roll that instead of once. I'll roll that 6 times. You said or 7?
7.
7. Okay.
Is it going to show all? Is it going to show all the
Yeah.
rolls?
It'll be right at notes.
Okay, go.
Okay. So I got a 3, 1, 2, 5, 2, 6, 1.
Okay. Oh, it's hard to
You see
roll
that?
things over again, isn't it? I want you to take all.
I can re-roll that if you want.
No. I just want you to roll the ones over again. Can you
Oh,
do
the
that?
ones?
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
you?
yeah. So because it saves my history, so I'm gonna roll 2 instead of that.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna roll. So I got 2 2s.
Okay. Roll.
Did.
Okay. Roll those again.
Okay.
Roll those again.
4 and a 3.
Okay. So you got a 6, a 4, and a 3 as your best rolls.
Actually 6, 5, and 4 are my best rolls.
Okay. So 6 and 5 and 4 is 15.
Yep.
Let's put that in for your dexterity.
Okay.
Let's see. Did you do that?
I'm doing that now.
All right.
All right. So then I think the next one I want to work on is my constitution.
Okay, hang on. I'm just seeing if this is saving correctly. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll 6 dice for that.
Yep. So 6. Roll. Okay, I got 1, so I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yep.
Oh,
you didn't that. All right, roll. It's okay. Just roll 6 again. Doesn't matter.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Okay, well, no ones this time. I got a 2 though.
Okay, so roll. You have another 15.
Okay.
Okay, so put that in for your Constitution.
Sorry, I have so many things open right now.
It's okay. It's okay. We're all good. We're here.
Okay.
What's the next one you want to roll? You're gonna get 5 dice for this.
Next one will be strength.
Okay. Go ahead and hit it.
5. Reset. Roll. Give me 1 sec.
Oh, you're getting a door. You're on the door.
You want to go out and get something to eat?
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. Roll that one again.
Sure. Okay.
All right. There you go. That's another 15. Roll the 1 again. Give me one more. Roll 1 again.
Yep. 4.
That's still 15. Okay.
Okay. It just looks like
it's like a 15 person.
Yeah. 15,
Not
15.
bad.
Okay. And then I'll go to intelligence.
All right. Give me 5 dice for intelligence.
Okay. Reset. 5. Okay, I got 2 1s, so I'm gonna roll.
All right, roll those again.
All right, 2 5s.
All right, so you got 16 for that one.
Yay! It's different.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is next.
All right, give me 4 dice for wisdom.
Okay. 4. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's 14.
14. Okay. 14.
Mm-hmm.
Now the last one's charisma.
All right, give me 3 dice for charisma.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, all right, you got 18 charisma.
Damn. Okay.
That's a good roll, man. I have not seen a 3 6s in a long time. All right, now let's look at who you are here.
Okay.
Let's see. Where are your racial bonuses? +2 to that. 1 wisdom. Okay, now what I will allow you to do right now. Okay, I want you to roll 1 8-sided die.
Okay. 1 8-sided die. I got a 2.
Okay, I will give you. Here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
First thing I will allow you to do, I will allow you to switch any 2 scores.
Oh, yay.
Okay.
Okay. So I do not need a 15 and 18 in charisma.
Okay.
Okay. So definitely 18 in dexterity.
Okay, so you switch that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want you have 1 point to add to anything.
1 point to add?
To any one statistic.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's your stats.
Okay, awesome.
Let's see how your character sheet is developing now.
Okay.
Oh, look at you. Your dexterity is 20. Phenomenal. It's a pretty good character.
Yeah.
I will give you a chance to move one more time.
One more?
Any two scores.
Okay.
If you feel like it.
Yeah, let me see. Edit. Yeah, do you want me to stop sharing my screen, or is it still?
No. You could stop if you want. I mean, I'm watching. I can see what you got in my.
Yeah. Let me just go back here and then hit the. Nope, this is the wrong thing.
There's a thing that says stop sharing. It's like you might be able. Yeah, right there. Boom.
Hello. Okay. Sorry.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you want to change anything, but
yeah. I'm gonna change the wisdom and the charisma. So the charisma will be a 14.
Okay.
The wisdom will be a 15. I mean, she's not the most outgoing person. She's been beaten not half her life, but a lot of her childhood.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it's something you got to roll. So all these stats, I got to say to you, I want you to role play.
Yeah.
Your stats. So you're very dexterous, which means that you're very agile.
Yeah, and I would also
go
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I would also say I think she's kind of flinchy too. I mean,
a little jittery.
Yeah, I mean, I made her charisma so low because she's not the first one to talk. She's not the first one to step up and say, "I know what to do." She's very much so the character hangs in the background. She's quiet.
Right.
She doesn't like drawing attention to herself whatsoever.
Got it.
Because in her experience, it's never been a good thing.
Okay. Okay, good. So let's go to the next screen.
Okay.
Now you have all these things to fill out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can even equip yourself. And fill the rest of this character out. Now we play. Unfortunately, I gotta go.
Okay.
Let me get back here. We play tomorrow night at 6:30.
6:30.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what I hope is that your character's fleshed out before then, so I can read it on D&D Beyond.
Sure.
Okay. And I'm going to bring you in cold. You're not going to know anything besides what we just talked about.
Okay.
And you're going to meet some new people.
Okay.
Don't be nervous. Have you ever played online before?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you have? What, in Roll20? Or Discord?
In Discord, yeah.
Yeah, you like Discord?
Yeah.
The only problem with Discord is it doesn't have really good ways to record and store in the cloud. So this is why.
Yeah. No, it's definitely just for the video and chatting thing. But if you're trying to keep it, it's not so much.
Right. So I really appreciate your time. I really like you.
Okay.
Awesome. You sound like you're really going to do something great.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing, though, is to be on time.
Okay.
And if you need to go talk to whoever that was, your dad or whoever, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just we could take breaks. Not a problem. We never want to make anybody feel uncomfortable about how this fits into the rest of their lives. But you have to show up.
Yeah.
And you have to plug in and really get in character.
Yeah.
Okay? So I need you to become a character for tomorrow night.
Okay.
Okay? It's really been great meeting you, and I can't wait.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, have a great night, and just fill this stuff in. I'll be reading it tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, Jay. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.